Welcome to another edition of Southern Nevada Living. This is going to be a great show for people, the tens of thousands of people that are moving to Nevada from parts of California, Oregon, Washington, Texas, no matter where in the country. This show is all about what you need to do, what you need to know if you're looking for a home here, new or used. I'm Dennis Silvers, half of this team, along with my great co-host, who I'm very privileged to have, Elaine Hansen, who's been a top-ranked broker agent for years and years. She's really the expert on this show, and Elaine, very happy to have you.
Thank you, Dennis.
Very
happy to be here. Very excited.
Very
yes.
lucky to have you as a co-host.
I've been doing this over 28 years. I'm actually born and raised in Las Vegas, so I love this valley. I've been with Realty One for many years, and just excited to be here and share some information with buyers and sellers and people moving actually from all over the world to our valley.
All over the world. That's a very good point. All over the world. And that's what we're all about. Entertainment capital of the world, folks. So if you want entertainment,
here we are.
Southern Las Vegas Valley, Clark County, Las Vegas in particular, is the place for you. But there are things you need to know, and this show is going to provide you that information. Elaine, what do you say we get going with what's happening in the real estate market this week? Your market
jump
minute.
into a market minute.
Yeah.
Well, Dennis, during our market minute, we're going to be discussing our current insights for buyers and sellers in the market. So we're going to jump right in. Our Clark County median home price, that one is sitting around $569,900. That is up from last year this month. It was at $561 a year ago in 24. Our home inventory, that one is up. Last year we had about 3,331 homes on the market. Now we have over 6,645 homes on the market. So it's definitely evening out the market. It's not so much a seller's market anymore, and we're just kind of getting more evened up. We have about 122 days on average in the market. So sellers can look at about 4 months. This is down from last year. Last year we had 129 days on the market in June. I've seen it as high as 144 at times. It just depends on where the market. It's cyclical and always flowing. So we're going to jump into the buyer insights. And what are the buyers always interested about, Dennis? They want to know about their interest rates.
Interest rate.
Yeah. They ticked down a little bit yesterday, which is a nice thing to be able to let everybody know. Conventional is looking at about 6.84% right now. And then FHA and VA, they're looking around 6.37. I'd say with the interest rates ticking down since January. So since January of this year, they were at 7.25. And so being at 6.84, it's going in the right direction. Advice for buyers right now, I would say you really need to get with a good lender. We're going to have Scott Gillespie, Evergreen Home Loans, coming on here pretty quick. And you need to discuss with your lender about the types of home buyer incentives they have, first-time home buyer programs, and also just what you're qualified for, conventional VA, FHA. Where sellers are in a different boat right now, so they have to be much more competitive. And so with so much inventory coming on the market, I'm just telling them you need to be competitive when you price your property straight out. And you need to look at staging. You need to look at setting your house up to be shown so it's showing a bit better than the one down the street that's for sale. And that's going to give them the advantage to maybe be under that 122 days on the market, right?
It's a very competitive market when you're selling your house.
It is right now, definitely. So we have the statistic this week, which is interesting. We've got the graphic that is shown is going to show the driver's license turn-ins for 2024. And we have our top state. Who do you think that could be?
I see them all over town. It's got to be California.
You're right. It's California at 37%.
Wow.
That's 37%. Wow. And that tells you a lot because the next highest one from that was Florida, and they were only at 7%.
Wow.
So
interesting.
And then we trickle down from there. Texas, 6%. We've got Washington, 4.5%. And then down a little bit of ways, we also have Hawaii. So we have our 8th island coming over and enjoying our beautiful area.
Mahalo, everybody from Hawaii.
Exactly.
great information. I told you she was the expert on this stuff. I got a question for you, though. We got about a minute left. In your opinion, what are some of the major things right now affecting our local Las Vegas real estate market?
Obviously, interest rates are what really affected us starting a couple of years ago when they started trickling up just over 2 years ago. But right now we have so much political uncertainty and just the international unrest that's happening. It has a lot of people on a bit of edge. So that's kind of what's affecting things at this point, along with, I'd say the big things with interest rates, and more sellers are coming on the market. So it's actually a really good time for buyers to jump in because of the fact that they have more to choose from.
2001, as you're perfectly aware of, was a record year for home sales here in the Las Vegas Valley. Just 2 years later, it was the lowest.
It was.
It set a record for the lowest, and I've got to think that harkens to one thing, and maybe tell me if I'm wrong, interest rates.
It was. Interest rates were wonderful up until they started trickling up, and as they went up, about June 2 years ago is when it just got, it got a little rough for people. It priced them out of the market for a while.
All right, tell you what, we're going to step away, take a short break, come back. We're here with our special guest, Scott Gillespie. Stay with us.
Southern Nevada Living, brought to you in part by Evergreen Home Loans.
Looking to buy or sell a home in the Las Vegas area? Elaine Hansen with Realty One Group. Born and raised right here, with over 28 years of full-time, full-service experience. Call today and make your next move with confidence.
Hey Vegas! Celebrate every day in style at the Composer's Room. From live music to comedy shows, we've got entertainment that'll give you that Las Vegas vibe. Our tavern serves the best drinks in Vegas. Whether you're a cocktail connoisseur or a beer buff, our bartenders got you covered. And let's not forget about the food. Our culinary delights are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Come for the entertainment and stay for the food. Reserve your visit to the Composer's Room today and start celebrating Las Vegas our way.
Looking for a night out that's pure Vegas? Welcome to Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, voted best comedy club in Las Vegas. Located at the Link Promenade, just steps from the High Roller, it's your ticket to big laughs from top comics handpicked by Jimmy Kimmel himself. No two shows are alike. Every night's a headliner, and every seat's a great one. Get your laughs at the best. Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, only in Vegas, only at the Link.
Welcome back in, everybody, to Southern Nevada Living. I'm Dennis Silvers, along with my great co-host, Elaine Hansen. We do have our special guest here, Mr. Scott Gillespie, who's a mortgage loan officer, a lender with a great company, Evergreen Home Loans. Scott, thanks so much for coming. I know you're a busy guy, taking out of your schedule. And I want to kick it off by asking you, I think a lot of people really aren't sure or don't know, what is a mortgage loan officer? What do they do?
So what we do is help people understand the best type of financing, how much they can afford. So someone like Elaine and Jim, when they want to go take a borrower out to look at homes, they don't know what price point. They might know what neighborhood, what size, but we help them establish what price point. And that's not just on how much can they afford on a total purchase price, but is the monthly payment in line with the budget that they've set for themselves?
Okay.
So that's the main function of what we do.
That makes perfect sense. I got one other before Elaine asks you a question. A lot of people are under the impression today that want to move here or anywhere to buy a new home, they need a big down payment. That's not necessarily true, is it?
No, it is not true. Actually, there are programs. We just helped someone last month. They bought, I forget the exact price, but it was around $400,000, and they were able to close on that and get a portion of their earnest money deposit, which was $5,000, back. They needed less than $3,000 to close on that home using one of the down payment assistance programs. Yeah.
It's the market we're in right now, being able to negotiate, right?
Yes, finally we have buyers having a little more negotiating power.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think it's important for a buyer to speak to a lender before they even get out there and talk to an agent?
So that's kind of what Dennis was just asking me. So really to help them identify what is the price point. So we figure out the budget that the bank is comfortable for them based on the liabilities, the income, the job history. But we sometimes will come up and say, okay, you can afford a $4,000 house payment based on the numbers you've provided. But they might be like, well, we only want to spend $3,000 a month. So we've got to calculate what price of home based on their down payment should they be looking at when they go out to look.
I think there's been many times that you've been able to approve them higher, and then they tell me, no, we want to stay down here, because they know what that monthly mortgage is going to be, and they're like, no, let's stay down here. Like, okay, then we lower that.
And we like that when that happens. That's someone who's smart with their budget, living within their means, and it's a good thing to be able to help them adjust to where they need to be.
Exactly.
Exactly right. No, they want to save up a little beer money, so they want a little lower, mortgage.
They want to be able to live
Scott Gillespie is our special guest from Evergreen Home Loans. Scott, I want to ask you, why should I buy now and not wait to see the turnaround in the market? We were talking about this a little bit earlier. I think in 2001, record level of home sales. Couple of years later, record level of no home sales. Should I buy now or should I wait to see what the market does?
This is a common question lenders get. I suspect you also get this, Elaine. The pent-up demand for housing, while I don't have an exact figure, is enormous. So many people the last few years have said, I'm going to wait for the interest rate drop. I'm going to wait for the prices to drop, which is a common one, which has been proven that that's just not happening. There's not enough supply to drop prices meaningfully. So I think the main thing is when we do see some type of cuts to our interest rates, which is not a given, but hopeful, we're going to see this pent-up demand hit the market fairly quickly. And when that happens, that creates a market similar to 2020, 2021, where you have more demand than supply. We're setting ourselves up nicely for that. Supply has been going up, so we'll be able to absorb a little. If rates actually went back into the fives on like a 30-year fixed mortgage, the demand would be tremendous. The prices would automatically shoot up. So I guess the answer to your question is, you can always refinance the rate. If you're getting in at a level that you're a little uncomfortable, but it's the right house, it's probably a good idea so that when you've locked in the house, then you take advantage when the rates go down, but you've now got your house.
You deal with people from all over the country that come here. Is there a commonality of home that these people want to look at? Of course, I guess it depends if they have a family or not. They have a bunch of kids. And they'll say, Scott, I need a 6-bedroom, I need a 5-bedroom, I got 12 kids, that type of thing. Is there a commonality of home that people want to look at? Is it a neighborhood or what?
Yeah, Elaine might be in a better position to answer that. I think they share the specifics of their home search with a realtor more than me. What we used to be common was people out of California be like, I can't believe how much I get for my dollar here. And then people out of Alabama or the Southeast be like, you guys are just outrageous. But that has mitigated. The last few years, home values have gone up there and kind of flattened here, so that's not as much of what we see anymore.
Yeah. It's been, with the amount of Californians coming in, I've had people come in that first the son came in, and then the mom came in, and then the brother bought something, and then the aunt came in, and then her son came in, and the whole family started moving here, and we have others that are like that because they have so much value here versus where they were coming out of in California. But as Scott said, with these rates, with the prices going up, not quite as much anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's important to buy now because like Scott said, you're getting in at today's prices and people keep thinking they're going to go down, but I just showed the market minute where it's up from last year. And I agree, it's a very fine line, like with the Fed is in, like being able to work those interest rates, right?
Yeah, they're reluctant at the moment, but at some point I think we will see some drops to the rates.
Yeah, you went to Ithaca College, which is great. You've been a realtor since '88. What got you into this line of business?
I was a realtor for a hot minute. I didn't do very well at it. So I got into lending.
It's a different animal, right?
Yeah.
I don't touch upon what you do either.
So when I moved to Las Vegas, that was in Boston, Massachusetts in the late 80s. When I moved to Las Vegas, I realized the other side of the finance. I love real estate, but the finance side just is better suited.
Well, you must because you've been 33 years,
right?
right?
It's worked, yeah. And
Scott
I still enjoy it.
He has his head wrapped around it. And sometimes he starts talking and I have to bring him back to, it's Elaine, the realtor, because it's not wah, 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 wah. That's what I hear coming from, because he really knows. He really knows what he's talking about. But Scott, can you tell us, maybe tell the public about what type of loans are out there for them, the common loans that are out there?
So the basic loans are FHA, VA, and conventional. About 70% of all loans are conventional, about 10% VA, and about 20% FHA. VA, of course, if you're a veteran, it's the best loan. There's no other products. We had a period before the housing crunch where there were products that competed well with VA. Today, no, if you're a veteran, that is going to be your best loan product. FHA is going to be your best product if your credit scores aren't top tier. Conventional, a lot of people don't realize, and the rates that you see advertised in the news are based on top tier credit, which for conventional is 780 or higher. So FHA suits a very good niche because there's a lot of people that don't have credit scores that high.
Okay.
Yeah, that's important.
It is important, and Las Vegas is known for a lot of people relocating here to start over, so we get some people that have some little dings in the credit, maybe a little gap in the work history.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. All right, tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, Scott.
You can reach me on my cell phone, 702-494-8448, 702-494-8448.
We're going to have you stick around, though, and come back for the next segment, if that's
Great,
okay.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Or you could go to email simply Scott Gillespie, S. Gillespie at evergreenhomes.com. Look up evergreenhomes.com. Hi, I want to talk to Scott, right? And he's there. He's there. All right, I tell you what, we're going to step away, take another short break. We come back. We'll have a couple of more great segments for you, and we're going to have our fun minute, I think, right? Yes. We're going to do our fun thing, so stick around. Back right with you right after this.
Southern Nevada Living, brought to you in part by Evergreen Home Loans.
Looking to buy or sell a home in the Las Vegas area? Elaine Hansen with Realty One Group. Born and raised right here, with over 28 years of full-time, full-service experience. Call today and make your next move with confidence.
Hey Vegas! Celebrate every day in style at the Composer's Room. From live music to comedy shows, we've got entertainment that'll give you that Las Vegas vibe. Our tavern serves the best drinks in Vegas. Whether you're a cocktail connoisseur or a beer buff, our bartenders got you covered. And let's not forget about the food. Our culinary delights are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Come for the entertainment and stay for the food. Reserve your visit to the Composer's Room today and start celebrating Las Vegas our way.
Looking for a night out that's pure Vegas? Welcome to Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, voted best comedy club in Las Vegas. Located at the Link Promenade, just steps from the High Roller, it's your ticket to big laughs from top comics handpicked by Jimmy Kimmel himself. No two shows are alike. Every night's a headliner, and every seat's a great one. Get your laughs at the best. Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, only in Vegas, only at the Link.
Well, welcome in once again, everybody, to this edition of Southern Nevada Living. Hope you're enjoying the show and learning something, which is even more important. Got a great guest on the show today, along with my co-host Scott Gillespie from Evergreen Home Loans, and let's switch gears a little bit and let's do something fun a little bit.
Okay.
Scott, what's your favorite show on the Strip?
We were talking about that yesterday. My latest favorite would be the Sphere. I think anything at the Sphere is probably better because it's at the Sphere. It was really impressive. I'm so happy we have that here.
That's an impressive place.
Yes.
It's
People
neat
see
even
that
before
and
the
they
show.
are getting impressed.
Yeah, I haven't seen a concert there yet, but the few people I know I have said just out of this world.
Yeah.
That good.
Yeah. It was good.
Elaine, what's your favorite show
Well,
on the Strip?
on the Strip, my favorite was Love. And it's still my favorite, even though they're not here anymore. That is still my favorite. I love that show. I saw it many times. Love the Beatles music.
Yeah.
And
Without
but
a
really,
doubt.
Cirque du Soleil. I just enjoy Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
How about you, Dennis? What's your
Anything by Cirque du Soleil, I agree with you. I love O.
Yeah, it's a good
I've seen
one.
that show multiple times, and it's always good. And that's why we got great entertainment here, folks.
Yeah, it is.
That's why they call it the entertainment capital of the world. Get it? So, yeah. So, again, if you're moving here, you're going to have plenty to do, plenty to go see. And that's why Southern Nevada, Clark County, Las Vegas is
Place
a
to be,
great place,
Sweet.
great place to live.
Jump back into some questions?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do that. I want to keep Scott here for a little bit.
Okay.
We were talking about this a little bit earlier, about the record year in 2001 with home sales. What do you think that's attributed to?
The record year 2021 when we're in COVID?
Yes.
Yeah, well, a lot of people all of a sudden realize they don't have to stay where they work and got out of some high tax states and places that they were there just because of the job and decided to live, not just in the, it was all over the country. It was a mass movement. But we definitely benefited because of our proximity to California. It was an easy way to get back and forth if they needed to, but be here for the lower taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned in our last segment, we were talking about the home prices, or the home sales, I should say, having dipped. Last year, I don't think a lot of folks realize, last year's home sales across the country were equivalent to 1995. So they went from record in 21 to 30 years it hasn't been that slow. So there has been a big pullback with home buyers in the last year, couple years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think people that come here, and didn't mean to interrupt, are
That's okay.
focused on a neighborhood per se? I want to live near this. I want to live near the Strip. I want to live in Green Valley or whatever.
I think often if it's someone who hasn't lived here before, it's I want to be near my relatives. I don't think they know the valley per se. Some of them with kids are focused on a school district. We've got some not so great schools, and we've got some fantastic schools.
Right.
People look them up and they know.
Good point.
Yeah.
Some fun neighborhoods too.
Oh,
where they have
absolutely.
lots of community for kids, and it's just.
Yeah, whatever you're looking for, I think we have it at some point in the valley.
We do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you'll find it.
Yep.
Exactly. How about, can you tell our guests the difference between a down payment and then closing costs?
Yeah. So down payments start at 0 if you're a veteran, and then typically 3% is going to be the lowest down payment, starting off with non-veteran loans. The down payment is the amount you're putting down, which is kind of the security to the bank, the mortgage company, say, I'm putting this in, and then the bank's going to give the rest. On top of that, though, you have closing costs, and closing costs are comprised of things that the lender would have, the title company would have, the appraiser. You also prepay things. A lot of people don't realize when you buy a home, you prepay the property taxes, you prepay the interest on the loan, and you prepay your homeowner's insurance for a full year.
Yes.
So those are all part of extra costs. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to do 3% down, so on a $300,000 house, I need $9,000. No, you need a little
bit more than that.
Yes.
Yeah. So who pays those, Scott?
Well, the last few years, it's been the buyer, but we are seeing more with the market shift. Elaine has had some success negotiating for sellers to contribute money to pay closing costs. Sellers can pay costs as an incentive to help the buyer buy their home as opposed to another one.
Yeah, so sometimes we can get the seller to kick in and give a credit towards buyers. It just depends.
Which I think is a smart thing to do.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
So, yeah, if you're a first-time home buyer, usually your biggest obstacle is cash to buy a home. So it's enormously helpful that we've moved more towards the buyer's market, and that's you're capable of getting costs.
Because Elaine and I were talking about that earlier. You're going into a very competitive market, so you've got to incentivize the buyer as much as you can.
Right.
Drop the price, or hey, I'll help you pay for this, or whatever.
Exactly. People don't realize that they're used to the last few years, or a little bit closer to 21 when it was more of a seller's market, and they could just list their house and do whatever, and people would come in and buy it. And now, I have people who are painting inside, outside. They're really setting up their house to make sure they can sell it in a good time. So it's definitely a more even market, I'd say.
Yeah.
And we were talking about staging is important, and hopefully we have somebody coming on board that's an expert in that has a company, and that's important.
Yeah.
You know what they say, the old saying, first impressions?
Yep. I hear that from buyers all the time. They're like, oh, we looked at 4 houses. None of them look very nice. And when by nice, they meant there's toys strewn around, the kitchen hasn't been cleaned.
Clean it up, right?
It's weird that people don't care enough to clean their house up for someone to look at it.
Yeah, oh my god.
So we got a couple great houses to show our guests out there this week.
I bet you
can
we
jump
do.
in. We do. So we're going to have one. The first one coming up is just a lovely property. This property is at 3519 Red Coach. It's in North Las Vegas. The price on this one is well below the median. It's $435,111. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a 3-car garage.
Ooh.
This
That's
house is
excellent.
It is. It has over 1,700 square feet. Wow. It has a beautiful courtyard. The floor plan has like 11-foot vaulted ceilings. It has separate family dining rooms. The courtyard with the front courtyard has like coach lights around it, ornamental iron, a full-length covered patio on the back of the house as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so this one is a lovely property. You'll be seeing the photos. This one is great. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. The next property we're looking at is on a different level. This one is 1269 Imperia Drive, and this one is courtesy of Terry Gamboa with our Realty One Group office, and it is 1269 Imperia Drive, Henderson, Nevada 89052. This one is at $6,999,000. It is a stunningly beautiful home, 4-bedroom, a 4-bath, 4-car garage. The square foot on this property is 7,460 square
For
feet.
$6 million, it better have a damn car in the garage.
Oh,
if it's a
this one is a
4-car
stunning
garage.
blue heron home.
Yeah.
And it overlooks, so it overlooks, it has Vegas Valley views, it has
Wow.
views of the golf course.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's up in Seven Hills, so
Beautiful.
just up at a higher level. There's just so much to list. It has a theater, a wine room. The golf course community it's in is the Rio Seco, which I'm sure
Yeah.
you appreciate being the
Oh,
golfer
yeah.
that you are.
Yeah.
Elevators within the property.
Beautiful.
It is being sold furnished. So when you see these photos and all this furniture, it is all included. Thank you, Terry,
awesome.
for letting us hold your
That is
property.
awesome. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Southern Nevada Living. Scott, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dennis.
Get a hold of them at Evergreen Home Loans. If you come out here, buy a home, you want some money, this is the guy to see. Elaine, great work as usual. And we will see you at our next show of Southern Nevada Living. So
Thanks for being
until
here.
then, so long, everybody.
Bye.